Hello everyone. So today we are going to transfer the characters attacks and damage system we had implemented within the within the gameplay ability attack. I'm gonna do it based on the hitbox based enemy detection system I implemented yesterday. So to explain on that more, let me show you. So we were using this gameplay ability attack sword, and there we were doing damage to enemies based on this get nearby actors. But yesterday we implemented a way to determine enemies that hit with my blade using a hitbox based approach here. And today we are going to do the hit reaction ability activation and damage ability activation and stun ability activation within the weapon blueprint itself, rather than doing it here in this attack sword gameplay ability. So now the attack sword ability will only take care of attack part. It will not look into the damage part will be handled. Still we are using gameplay abilities, but it will be handled through the sword blueprint using hitbox based hit detection on enemies. So yeah, that's what we are going to work on today. Let me show again the demonstration. You can see from these debug points we identify accurately where the sword contact the mesh of the enemy, so that gives us ability to accurately spawn blood splatters as well. So yeah, let's see how to do this today. And before we get started, let me remind you that you can download project files of this project and all other thousands of projects I have done from my Patreon page, and you can watch all other episodes of this series in this playlist. I'll leave the link to the full playlist also in the description below. And yeah, now let's get started with today's tutorial. Okay, so right now I can actually do attacks, but the attacks are handled through the gameplay ability that I have already implemented here, GA attack sword. So here I have this damage radius based mechanism which take into account how far the surrounding enemies are, and if they are within this radius they will get damaged. So that's how it works right now. So I'm gonna disconnect it from here because I need to implement it based on the hitbox based collision detections on my weapon. So we already worked on the detection part of enemies here in this part where the character detects what is the exact position of the mesh where the contact happens between the sword and the or whatever the opponents that we are hitting with the sword opponent's character mesh location. So now I want to implement, or I want to activate the reaction ability and the damage ability from here, other than doing it from here. So here if you check, I can already see what I'm doing is on the other actor I call this send gameplay event. This is a replicated event that I have implemented in the parent gameplay ability, and we send a payload with the reference to current actor who is performing the attack. So I'm gonna do the same thing in here, and the way so here from this point we can get a reference to the opponent that we are hitting with the sword. So I'll promote this to a variable as hit actor, like this, and then after that I can send a gameplay event to the hit actor, so like this. So for now I'm not worried about replication. Let's just make this work in standalone mode, then let's test for replication. So here event tag, this should be based on, so this should say either it is a heavy attack or light attack. So here if it is a heavy attack, we should pass ability dot react dot heavy if it is a heavy attack. If it is a light attack, ability dot react dot light. So those are the things that I need to pass, and for that we need to know if it is a heavy attack. But in the sword we activate, we charge the sword, we have an event for that. See, charge weapon. So basically this is where we change the sword to red, and that's when a heavy attack happens. So if I add a new boolean, charged, weapon charged, by default it should be false, but here set weapon charged, as long as weapon remains charged this should be true, and when it is not, after a while we should set this to not charged, and then here we can select which reaction to show based on this charged state. So if it is false, that means not charged, that means we need to see on the opponent a light reaction. If it is true, we need to see a heavy reaction. So we will activate, we will send gameplay events accordingly, and in the payload I need to send a reference to the attacker. This is, well, why do we need that? Let me show you. React, where is the react? Okay, here. So this is where we trigger blood on the weapon of the attacker. So here this is the hit react sword light, and we use this event activate ability from event, and here we can access the instigator. From the instigator we can get the weapon, and then we enable this blood trigger, and also we have some other stuff like this. We add stamina to the attacker, because not exactly stamina, but we have this blue bar here which builds up here as we do successful attacks, which can be used to do things like executions. So to pass those details we need a reference to the attacker within this ability. So that's why I need to pass, so here we are using in many places, so that's why we need to pass a reference to the attacker to the victim through this payload. So here let's make gameplay event data, and as the instigator I need to send a reference to attacker. That means get attach parents, so whoever the actor wielding this sword, that's the attacker. And we don't really need this because we are already passing the tag, because I tested even without that data, event data that I just removed, it works. Okay, now before we do this, I'm not doing it here, and also I have disconnected here. So we should not see any reaction on the enemy. See, we detect the location through that debug point, but we are not seeing a reaction. So now that we know this part is disconnected, it is not working, so now let's see. So we can make sure that the reaction happens from the part that we implemented right now. And it's not, yeah, it is. Okay, so it is showing reaction, but didn't it work in the first try? It is, maybe I didn't notice it. And because we don't see blood because it is blocking. Oh. But if not blocking, we do see blood. Okay. Oh, here it didn't make contact, so now it's accurate actually. So if the sword is too far, we are not seeing the contact. Okay, good. So the next step is here we have some more activations. Here we apply this gameplay effects to the victim. Again, damage light and damage heavy based on if it is a heavy attack or light attack, and we should only do damage if the character is either not blocking or either not evading. If the victim is evading or blocking, we should not apply any damage effects. So for that we can use this basically. Well, let me just redo it here so it's clear for you. From the hit actor, get ability system component and contains has any matching gameplay tags. Make retro tag container. Here ability, wait, no, what's the event? Character state evading or weapons block. Evading or weapons blocked. Okay, so now if the opponent hit actor does have any of these tags, then we should not apply damage, otherwise we should. So apply, or again like this, apply damage, no, apply gameplay effect to target. Which one did I have used here? Yeah, target. And actually, let me copy this. I have connected it like that, so I'm going to do the same. And we already have these variables because in the weapon we already have those, see. So but we need to replace this with weapon charged. Okay, is that all? Yeah. So now we should see damage as well. Let me get hit, so you will see here my health get reduced. Wait, I didn't. What did I miss? Something is missing. Well, actually it is working, but since I have armors and gauntlets equipped, I have more than 100 health, so that is something I need to rethink. So because of that, it was not visible here initially, but I am actually getting damaged. So yeah, so we have another problem that we need to look into, but the system is working, so I can kill the enemy as well. Okay, all right, what else? Here we have this stun effect applied to the enemy. So this should happen, we should stun the enemy if only if player is not evading. So if we do a hit, even if the enemy is blocking, we should stun him. That means temporarily disable the ability to perform an attack. So we need to do that. Let me just copy this. Here. Again, we need to use this ability system component of the enemy for this, and apply the effect in the same way, and a stun effect, that is also something we already have here, so we should not get any errors. Right, now this part is stun, and this part is damage. And this part, oh wait, yeah, this part is damage, yeah, this part is reaction. Hit reaction. And this part, whole part is enemy detection. So oh, sorry. Contact point and enemy detection. Okay, so this is all right. So I think we can stop this episode for here. So later on we should check this system again for replication as well. And also, now that we are doing the hit reactions and everything within the sword itself, but still we are using gameplay ability system, so this feels much more contained within the blueprint itself, because we already have all the required variables here within the sword, within the item class, and I think it's better to do it that way rather than taking out them from the weapon and doing it here. Alright, okay, so yeah, thanks for watching. As always, updated project files will be available for download in the Patreon page, link would be in the description below, and see you in another episode. Goodbye.